Fear will always be fear, will always be fear. But the relationship you have with fear doesn't have to always be the same. Hi, I'm Jordanna of Modern Day Sorcerer. So today I want to talk about what happens when fear arises, when we're creating a next level version of ourselves. So when you're embarking on something for yourself or your business that is creating a next level of expansion of who you've always known you could become, and what happens with our fear and how to counteract that. So fear in and of itself is not a bad thing. In fact, fear in and of itself is one of our greatest teachers and one of our greatest leaders. But what happens when fear shows up is that part of our psyches that are wrapped in the fear will try to tell us that the way things have been before is now the way things will be. Will try to tell us that we have a reason to fear because of past behaviors, because of things that have happened in the past. But what our fear isn't realizing and what our psyches are not realizing is that that's actually impossible. And it doesn't seem that way. It seems possible. It's easy to believe what's going on inside of our fears, because when that fear arises, you may feel frozen, but even that phrase frozen in fear isn't really completely accurate. Often you look and feel like you're backsliding. So when the fear arises, you may find yourself in self-sabotaging behaviors from the past, or kind of opening up Pandora's box of past behaviors and going, this isn't me. I'm not this way anymore. I don't understand. Why am I still doing this? Why am I still behaving this way? Or you may be on the precipice of some form of growth that looks like you're not. So let's take money, for example. Maybe you're about to head into a huge financial expansion, but your finances today actually look worse than they have in a long, long time. So we co-create circumstances when we're headed into next level expansions that look sometimes like the opposite, that look like we've taken a backslide. But what we don't remember, and what is really important to remember in the process, is that you are never going to be the person you were 10 years ago, even 6 months ago. You're constantly expanding. We are constantly expanding. As humans, we're here to create, and we are creative beings. Even if you're not doing a ton of deep work on yourself, which if you're watching this, you probably are, but even if you weren't, the cells in our body constantly expand and grow every day. Now, yeah, you can feed the wrong wolf and not grow as quickly, but even then, even when you feel like you're backsliding, you still are in some form of a growth process. Like, this whole life is a growth process in and of itself. And you cannot negate, you cannot take away the growth you've already had. So if you stop and you look at your situation and your circumstances today, you're going to realize that what you're afraid of in this next level expansion you're going through could never be like it was in the past. Because you are a different person. Even if you think or you appear to be showing up as that same person who used to X, you're not. You've gone through an expansion. And so when push comes to shove, when you need to make a decision, when you need to source more of your power, when you need to muster up more courage, when there are feelings that are ready to move through that need to flow, you're always getting better and better and better at these things. Really, no matter how much work you're doing on yourself, you're still getting better than you were a year ago. And so when fear arises, take a look at how far you've come. Allow yourself to remember that. Allow yourself to be in that space of recognizing and acknowledging your growth. From there, then allow yourself to flow the fear. Then allow yourself to really be with the fear, because all it is a feeling that wants to move through you. And once the fear has moved through you, it will clear you out and prepare you to be able to hold more in this next step that you're embarking on. But first, stop, acknowledge, notice how far you've come, realize your progress, and then you can head forth in this next level of expansion. Allow the fear to be what it needs to be to teach you, to grow you. But the don't here is don't convince yourself that you're backsliding when it's actually not possible. All right, that's all for today. Lots of love.